Weirdness is a commonality among Sigma males. They're not exactly sure why, but it seems like strange and quirky things are just drawn to them. If you're a Sigma male, then you know what I'm talking about. You understand the weird little things that make up your world. Here are 12 of the strangest things that only Sigma males can comprehend. 1. They hate when the restaurant staff sings "Happy Birthday" to you. This might seem like a minor annoyance, but for Sigmas, it's another example of people trying too hard and being unnecessarily cheesy. Sigma males live life on their own terms and don't really care about following social norms or expectations. They don't like being put on a pedestal or lavished with attention, and they really dislike anything overly sentimental or sappy. So when a restaurant staff starts singing "Happy Birthday" to you, it can feel like an invasion of their personal space. It's not that Sigma men have anything against birthdays or celebrations. They just don't care much for cheesy gestures and forced sentimentality. They're more focused on tangible results and getting things done, so they have no interest in putting on a big show. They would much rather celebrate their birthdays quietly and without fanfare, focusing on what really matters to them, like spending time with loved ones or enjoying their favorite food. They value authenticity and honesty, and they dislike anything that feels contrived or forced. While most people might find it pleasant or amusing, Sigma males simply see it as another example of unnecessary indulgence, and they can't stand that kind of thing. 2. They can respond to long text messages with just okay. For Sigma males, texting is all about efficiency. Whether it's a quick reply to an important message or just a simple confirmation of something, Sigma males often keep their texts short and sweet. This might be because they live in the moment, or perhaps because they don't want to waste time on unnecessary details. But whatever the reason, Sigma males have a knack for getting to the point and keeping their communications simple and uncomplicated. People might even think they're rude or aloof, but Sigmas don't care. They know that their quick and to-the-point replies are what get the job done in today's fast-paced world. When a Sigma tries to create a long and meaningful text, they often find themselves deleting it and starting over. So instead of bothering with excessive details, Sigma men prefer to say "okay" or another one-word response to keep things simple. Sigmas hate beating around the bush, and they'll always choose brevity over fluff. After all, who really has time for that nowadays? 3. They keep secrets even from people closest to them. Ultimately, Sigma males are their own best friends. They're so secretive that they can't even confide in their own computer or diary. This often results in them keeping secrets from those closest to them. At least, that's the way it appears on the surface. In reality, Sigma males have complex relationships and deep bonds with their loved ones. They simply prefer to keep a certain level of privacy and distance between themselves and others. This instinct for privacy also means that Sigma men are great at keeping secrets. Whether it's a deep personal secret or something trivial, they're able to keep their lips sealed and their thoughts to themselves. And although this can make them seem aloof or even untrustworthy at times, ultimately it comes from a place of deep respect. Sigma males are extremely loyal and value their relationships greatly, even if they don't always show it or express it openly. 4. They use the simplest emojis. Sigma males usually don't use emojis much, but when they do, they tend to stick with the more basic and simplistic emojis. For them, emojis are just another way to communicate concisely and effectively. Unlike some people who use dozens of emojis in each text or post a whole library of stickers on social media, Sigma males prefer to keep things simple. Whether it's a smiley face, an eye roll emoji, or even just the classic thumbs up, Sigma men know that the most basic emojis can be some of the most powerful. Many people see emojis as a way to convey emotion or tone, but for Sigmas, they're just another tool in the communication arsenal. And when it comes to simple and effective communication, you can't beat the classic thumbs up. This is especially true when a Sigma is typing in a rush or trying to get through as many messages as possible. 5. If they have a job interview, they probably won't tell anyone about it. Sigma men are fiercely independent and hate relying on others for anything. This often means they do things alone, without any help or support from the people around them. So when it comes to a job interview, they prefer to keep things quiet and under wraps. They don't want anyone asking them questions about their resume or offering them advice or guidance. They know they can handle the interview on their own, and they don't want people asking too many questions about their candidacy. They also don't want to deal with any pressure from their friends or family to get a job offer at a certain company or in a specific role. For them, it's all about independence and following their own path. So if they have a job interview, they probably won't tell anyone about it. They would rather focus on preparing for the big day without any outside distractions or unnecessary pressure. At the end of the day, Sigma males just want to do things on their own terms, without worrying about what other people think. 6. They consider driving around lost for hours relaxing. There's something about driving around aimlessly that Sigma males find relaxing. There's no destination, no agenda, and no one to answer to. You can go wherever you want, whenever you want. For Sigma males, this is the epitome of freedom. While some people might see driving around lost as a weird thing or a waste of time, Sigma men see it as an opportunity to unwind and take a break from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. They see driving around as a form of meditation, a way to clear their minds and connect with the world around them. In many ways, it's a way for Sigmas to clear their heads, gain new perspectives, and reconnect with themselves. So next time you're feeling stressed, take a cue from the Sigma men and go for a drive. You might just find that it's the perfect way to recharge. 7. They sometimes pretend to have plans, but in reality, they're just relaxing at home. Another one of the weird behaviors every Sigma male is known for is rejecting an invitation, saying he has plans. In reality, though, he just wants to be alone and relax. Every Sigma realizes at some point in their lives that it's easier to say they have plans with other people than to explain why they have more fun alone than at some social event. This has a direct connection to the way a Sigma's brain works. Sigma males can be socially outgoing people when they want to be, but at the end of the day, they also crave time alone to rest and recharge. So when other people invite them out for an evening or weekend activity, Sigma men may say that they already have plans in order to avoid going out. Of course, this doesn't mean they are antisocial or never enjoy socializing with others. They simply appreciate having the flexibility and freedom to make their own choices about how they spend their time. 8. They're insanely patient when it comes to drive-thrus. If you have ever tried to order food from a drive-thru with a Sigma male, then you know just how patient they are when it comes to ordering. They have an incredibly strong sense of self-control and discipline, which makes them extremely calm and collected in most situations. They really don't mind waiting in long lines at restaurants or drive-thrus. Whether they're ordering food or just getting gas for their car, these men typically don't let the wait faze them. Of course, this doesn't mean they never get annoyed or frustrated by long lines at restaurants or other places, but generally speaking, they are very patient individuals who take pleasure in the small things in life and don't let little inconveniences bother them too much. If they've decided to do something, they have already thought about it and taken into consideration the pros and cons. 9. They hate when someone asks personal questions in front of multiple people. Sigma males are fiercely independent and private and often prefer to keep their personal lives separate from the rest of the world. They don't like sharing too much about themselves or opening up to others, especially in front of a group or audience. So when someone starts asking personal questions in front of a crowd, Sigma men always change the subject or try to deflect the question. They might even try to make a joke about it to put everyone at ease, but they typically prefer not to engage in these types of situations. They don't want to be put on the spot or forced to reveal things they would rather keep private. They would never want to put someone else in a difficult situation by asking them personal questions like this, which is why they hate it when it happens to them. For Sigmas, privacy and autonomy are paramount, and they will do whatever it takes to protect their own space. 10. Some Sigmas absolutely hate shopping. For many people, shopping is one of life's greatest pleasures. But for Sigma males, it's a dreaded experience. Whether it's going to the grocery store or trying on clothes at the mall, they find shopping a tedious and frustrating process. This might be because shopping often makes you struggle with the pressure of making choices when there are so many options. Whether it's painfully slow checkout lines, ridiculous sales tactics, or just trying to figure out what to buy in the first place, shopping for Sigma males is a total headache. If you're a Sigma, don't be ashamed to admit that you hate shopping. Embrace your love of simplicity and the freedom of living life on your own terms. After all, it's just another part of the unique and quirky world of a Sigma male. 11. They enjoy listening more than talking. For Sigmas, listening is more important than talking. Whether they're taking in an interesting conversation or just focusing on the sounds of their surroundings, Sigma men are big fans of silence and observation. This may be because they tend to get lost in their own thoughts. While many people find it difficult to focus in a noisy or busy setting, Sigma males are often able to zone out and fully focus on their own thoughts. People often misunderstand Sigma man's silence as a sign of disengagement or disinterest, but Sigmas actually love listening. In fact, they often find comfort and enjoyment in the silence. They take in all the information around them and really listen to what people are saying instead of just hearing them. Because of their neutral facial expression and tendency to keep things quiet, people might not always understand them. In any situation, Sigma males prefer to listen and observe rather than talk or engage in small talk. 12. They never get bored of learning new things. They have a constant hunger for knowledge and learning, which means they rarely ever get bored with new topics or ideas. They love expanding their horizons, exploring new possibilities, and keeping up with the latest developments in their field. Whether it's learning a new skill or reading up on the latest tech research, Sigma men always have something they're excited to dive into. They are driven by a deep curiosity about the world, and they find endless inspiration in the endless possibilities of human potential. For Sigmas, learning is a lifelong journey that never ends, and they never get bored because there's always something new to discover and explore. Instead of watching TV or scrolling mindlessly through social media, they prefer to learn something new, keeping their minds active and engaged. And for them, boredom simply isn't an option.